Okay, so we're back in the booth and we're gonna be going through a cycle of preparation vehicles, right? So I think we've got a total of about 6 vehicles that's in prep, and I'm gonna choose to go this route with you, but I'm gonna break it up into smaller episodes and not into one whole long episode. This vehicle is our Shadowline, white Shadowline. So I done it in the previous video with the Evo 2 Polaris silver car, and I'll put a link in the description for you guys. I should picture it, but yeah. So in my previous video, it was a squiz basically where it was just a quick squiz on the car of the metalwork on it, and I think I told you guys about the vehicle. And what I want to do is I just want to take you through basically the bodywork of it, the lines of it, explain to you where this vehicle came from. Sorry about that. Just explain to you exactly of where this vehicle came from, what we started with, what we had, and so on like that. So a quick rundown or history cap on it is 325 Shadowline. I sold this vehicle. A buddy of mine had it for sale. I sold it further on to a client, and then we went into the rest of the process just to find out where the car was. Eventually, sometime in its life, it had an accident on the back right, but the repair to it was horrific. We pulled the back section off. We tried to get it repaired, and because it was repaired before and just distorted, we decided to replace the whole back end of the car, right, which was the safest route to go with it. So we took it off by the spot welds, all the way through by the floor, replaced the whole back section of it. I managed to find an IS back section through a buddy of mine's, Irfan. His brother also does not restorations, he does paintwork on E30s. I did mention him before. He done one of the cars that he done now recently was a E30 M3, a silver one, and his paintwork is mint. So also a very particular guy, very full of crap, and I would say one of the best guys in the industry, if not the best. Anyway, back to the car. So we got the back section on. I'm not really going to go into detail of how long it took us and what we had to do, but we got a considerable amount of hours on this vehicle up to this point. Having said that, we measured out, we tested the car, so the doors were on the fender's bonnet. We got the kit on the car, boot lid. We got the windows on the car, rear windscreen on, and we got this car lined up and tested because we had to cut and resection the car out. And we got it tested fine. So metal worked it, metal prepped it up properly, and that was in my previous video where it was just about 50% on metal prep, and we finally got it into the booth. So the reason I didn't do it on metal prep is because there was a miscommunication with my guys to say that I was ready for its first primer. In the meantime, I was saying I was ready for the video. Anyway, we're back onto this channel. So this is our first steps of primer on the car, right? And this is one of the most crucial steps, if I can call it, when it comes to paintwork, or that I understand. So before this, we were in metalwork. And why I'm saying it's crucial is because our base now starts basically from the metalwork and from here, right? But before this year, we had to make sure that your metalwork has been thoroughly cleaned. So with PPG, we've got different cleaning agents that we use. It's quite pricey, but very good to basically prep the metal. So I'll do it on the next car. I'll do it on the Maricash brown car, and I'll show you guys. They've cleaned it on the outside. We'll get into the booth with it and we'll start cleaning up, and you'll actually see what a process it is to get the metal clean, because microscopically you cannot see the particles left behind, right? So, and that's your biggest challenge. And if you just leave it up to the general or your general guys, they think that the car is clean and they will come and apply on it, and that's when you'll start to have blistering or issues or whatever it is afterwards. That's number one. Number two, this here is our foundation now for our paintwork, right? So never mind the cleanliness behind it. Cleanliness will, obviously that's a must, but never mind the cleanliness. This is when you want to try and get your layer down correctly. You want to try and get your layer down equally, right? And there's a couple of processes that actually start from there. And one thing I am going to say is that this process here, or this first primer process, we've got a decent build up on it. Before we start blocking it down, we actually want to leave this car for about a month to cure. So everybody says cure. It's not so much curing. For example, if there's a moisture spot that you must for some reason, which you shouldn't, you need to give it the time to pop out, right? If there's any sinkage that's going to happen, you want to let it happen at this process here. Obviously, when it comes to a speed shop, you don't have a month to leave a car, but this is project work, so we want to try and leave it for as long as possible. If we could go for 2 months with leaving it, we would. But you want it to do it. You want the primer, or the specific primer, to do all of that now before you start blocking. Once it does that, in a month's time, if there is any defects on it, you can come and start blocking it and readdressing those issues or unforeseen issues. And then you can carry on with the prep stages and leave it. Just give it considerable amount of time just for it to cure. Again, I'm going to say that in inverted commas. Just let it cure, and then you build yourself up to base coat, right? So I think that's second or third important notice of it. And the next important notice is that what we are applying differently is so we know on metal we start off at 0, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm working on a material build up, right? So meaning we would like to know how many coats of our first primer is on there, how many coats of our second primer is on there, how many coats of final primer is on there, then our base coat, then our clear coat. So a lot of the times you'll see people using a meter like this here. It's called a micrometer. And when they're detailing a car, and they'll come and they will check, and you'll see, okay, fine, I've got, for example, this is showing us 95 microns of build. I've got 95 microns. 95 microns, I stand corrected, but that should be 0.0095 mils, right? It's very thin, you can't measure it. And they start blocking down. What this is showing you is your total amount of material from metal till your clear coat. So it means nothing if you got a detailer coming out and measuring. He doesn't know how much of clear coat that he is cutting down, right? And how much of tolerance he's got left. So what we do in our processes now is that we start off 0, which is on metal. I can't touch it because it has dried out. We start off 0 on metal. This is our first primer. I will come through and we'll inspect the car, right? And you can see we're in tolerance. So there is a couple of high spots, there is a couple of low spots on there, but it's tolerance basically from, call it 85 microns to, I see the highest spot was 1. The highest spot here was 114, which is okay. You would like to get it a little bit better. There's 132, is a bit higher, but this is now your arm slowing down at the end, and you should find it very high. Yeah, it's 148 there. This is now because of your blowback. So you'd like to try and run past the panel as far as possible if you're going to work that out. So what we would then do is try and get this here as equal as possible, right? It's intolerance and it's fine. And we'd like to grade it out. So we know we got 0 basically starting on metal. Then our first primer, we'll call it, and we'll grade the panel out and say, okay, fine, we got an average of X amount on that. So it'll be 0 on metal. We've got our range on first primer, and then we've got our range on primer block. So after blocking, we'll come and do a measurement on it. And we'll carry on with that again. We'll go second primer block, final primer block, and then when we run on the base coat, we'll run the base coat. So what that allows us to do is give an individual reading on every single coat that goes on the car. So by the time we run from base coat to clear coat, we know that we've got 50 microns, for example, of clear coat on it. And we know we would like to, for example, hypothetically, yeah, for example, we would like to leave at least a 20 micron buildup of clear coat. I'm not saying that's what the figure is, I'm using it as an example. We then know that, listen, we've got a tolerance of about 30 microns to block on and pull out any imperfections, because you're going to get those imperfections, and pull it out on, and safely let the car leave with enough clear coat so that it leaves, it lasts the customer, and you're not going to have issues going forward, right? This is why I say that this process is actually one of the most important processes, and you don't just want to ignore it, and because it's a primer process, have it done anyway in the shop. You would like to get it into the booth, and it is messy. A lot of guys run away from primer in the booth because it does get messy, but we're going through a primer cycle now where we know that the booth is going to get messy. We know that the filters are going to get clogged. It's fine, because when we start with our paint cycle, we'll do a change up, we'll do a clean up, and we'll prepare the booth now for cleaning. So if you've got two booths, it's perfect, but we've got one booth, and that's how we're doing it now. Let's get onto the car quickly. Let me take the camera off the pod. Let's go through the car quickly. I see there is some shrinkage spots here already happening, but the lineup of the panel is quite good. I have picked up my eye very slight imperfections here, which can be blocked on. Remember, this is not blocked, right? So this is the time now where all the crap starts, all the good work starts, all the body work starts, and your eye is got to be basically on it at all times. So if you have a look at the panel, this is how the panel looks without blocking, right? And it looks good. The line is nice and straight on it. I'm going to explain to you the procedure of why we're doing it in this way here now. So the roof has got a nice sheen to it. The primer color also plays an important part to the car. All right, look at this. So this whole back section of the car has been pulled off and redone. And remember, there's no filler or anything of the sort under here. And then okay, so I don't have a complete car to show you, right? And this is what I was going to explain to you guys now, is that we're doing it in different stages as to how we've done it before. And the reason we're doing it in this way is because we'd like to get the area sealed off completely on the side of the car. The front has been sealed off already. Then we're going to move to the interior, seal that off separately, the boot area separately, and then we'll tackle the undercarriage with another go, right? One of the reasons we're not doing the undercarriage now is because of rotisserie purposes, and we'd also like to get equal coverage now. It is better to do it on the rotisserie, but as we grow, we'll get more. Then the next process will be us doing the doors. So the doors will be sealed on the inside first, and then we'll do a uniform sealer over it, right? We know how much of build we basically build on one coat, and we're gonna use that as a reference. Then we'll put everything back onto the car again with the door locks, the hinges back on, line the car properly, and then our blocking starts on it. So we're not gonna block the car down panel by panel independently. We're gonna put everything on, make sure that the car is lined up properly, make sure that it's your capping is all done. I've got dummy door hours that I use to keep them in place so that we don't have flex as we're blocking. Pull that in. We're not going to put any windows on. We're going to put the sunroof on. No, sorry, we're not putting the sunroof on because I actually do not want to put the rails on. The sunroof will be done separately. But the boot, bonnet, fenders, and doors all go onto the car. So I'll tackle that later. Our next video is going to be of the Marrakesh brown car, which is finally in its stages. That car's looking good. There is a section, there's a problem with the back, but I want to get that car sealed up in front before I get to the back. It looks like we are going to replace the back section. KB, I haven't told you about it, is it? Because I know you're going to stress on video, so I'd rather show it to you. Um, let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know what you think about the format that I'm running with regards to our grid build-up. And it's a very short sample video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers, guys.